Hi everyone, my name is Veryl Igong-Igong and today I'm going to discuss to you about the gender and activism. So what is gender and activism? Gender refers to the characteristics of women, men, girls, and boys that are socially constructed, while activism is a collective effort to shape and transform political, socio-cultural, and other environmental status quo. Our society is now advocating towards equal rights for everyone through the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, or the UDHR, which was drafted in the year 1948 by all countries who are members of the United Nations. It acknowledges that everyone, including the LGBT people, is equal in dignity and in rights. Although most countries no longer punish or outlaw homosexuality, there is still much to be done for the LGBT people to fully enjoy their human rights. Understanding heteronormativity. Heteronormativity means of relating to or based on the attitude that heterosexuality is the only normal and natural expression of sexuality. That is according to Merriam-Webster Dictionary. It simply means it is when we assume that everyone is heterosexual or straight and that it is the standard for everyone. With heteronormativity point of view, straight people are placed at a privileged group by viewing them as the standard or normal. Anyone who does not adhere to that standard are viewed as lesser. Like women who love women or the lesbians, men who love men, gays, people who love men or women, bisexuals, people who feel that they do not belong to their biological sex or the transgender, and other people who reject the notion of gender binaries, the male, female, masculine, and feminine. Heteronormativity has been so ingrained in our social and political institution that it has almost become invisible. Most people in our society subscribe to heteronormative standards just because that is the way it has always been for them, like assigning blue for boys and pink for girls. But what happens when a boy wants pink toys? They are reprimanded and criticized in a process called normalization. So what is normalization? Normalization limits a person's choices and freedoms. For the LGBT, it means they are marginalized, treated as inferior, discriminated on, branded as abnormal, and are treated as second-class citizens. This leads to homophobia, transphobia, biphobia, discrimination, violence, and other hostile acts towards the LGBT people. One example of heteronormative violence is the murder of LGBT men and women during the Nazi Holocaust. In present days, it means punishing LGBT children for expressing who they are or being vocal about who they are attracted to. In the workplace, it could mean being fired or not being promoted just because you are not straight at home. It could mean being disowned by our family because you are LGBT, or being bullied by your family because you are not masculine enough or feminine enough. In politics, it manifests in policy denying LGBT their freedom, such as anti-sodomy laws. In many countries where being LGBT is a crime punishable by imprisonment or death. It could also mean that absence of the laws that would let LGBT live a full life, like being able to marry the person they want to marry or enjoying the same rights and privileges that straight families have. Challenging heteronormativity through activism. Heteronormativity in a social contract and history has proven society's changing attitude on homosexuality. History showed us the egalitarian acceptance of homosexuality in the ancient hunter-gatherer civilizations. The violent erasures of the gender deviance and condemnation of homosexuality with the spread of Abrahamic religion, the Jews, Christians, Muslims, and other religions who believe in one God, the God of Abraham. LGBT activism have had various social movements to advocate for LGBT people's equal rights. In the year 2000s, liberation in the year 1960s to 1970s, and self-acceptance through the homophile movement in the year 1950s. These social movements engage in political and social activism through street rallies, pride marches, law lobbying, engaging the media, arts, research, and many other activities that empower the LGBT community. Dissent is so powerful it can make significant changes in our society. Breaking the culture of silence on the daily heteronormative violence that are committed and condoned by society is the first step towards social change. We can start by refusing to participate in heteronormative violence towards the LGBT and participating in various events for the LGBT community. May 17, the International Day Against Homophobia and Transphobia. May 31, in International Transgender Day of Visibility. November 20, the Transgender Day of Remembrance, and the June is the Pride Month of LGBTQ community. For the summary of my report, heteronormativity as a social construct can be undone through activism. Social change may not be something that happens right away, but decades of LGBT struggle has proven that change can happen. You do not have to be an LGBT to fight for equal rights. You just have to be a human being who believes in freedom and equality for all. That's all for today. Thank you and God bless.